No, I'm not going to say anything. So the thing is, how do we as believers now, which way do we go? Because I think God will give one answer.
You know, worldliness, what I call worldliness, does not, God is not in worldliness. So I might be a bishop. I've seen some money in this area, and somebody is going to give there. I pray with a lot of power so that he can be able to hear that the prayer has reached heaven. That's not the way God works.
Let me tell you something.
God works in truth. He works that I don't use you as an object of me to be rich.
But let me ask you.
And I could do it easily.
Will God reveal who is his presidential candidate, who he has favored, to church leaders now or on the day of elections?
God is not involved. I believe with all my heart that God is not involved in politics.
But God has always worked through kings.
But God, yes, he has worked even for the evil one. When Elijah said, I'm the only one. You know, God himself
Look at that screen.
revealed what he had. He revealed it to Elijah. Elijah, I have given you all power as a man of God. You have power of military. Go and give it to Asairi. You have got power of leadership, being a king. Go and give it to Jehu. You have got power of a prophet. Go and give it to Elisha. All these things were in him, but he could not see them. And so when he went and gave them, they became. And then he was told, your job is finished. So I want to say that being involved so much, the church being involved so much in politics, like I saw people speak there, they criticize who, we criticize who. With us, we love everybody. We need to love all of Kenya, because as religious people, we show people God, and God does not show partiality.
So we can't have two presidents.
So we cannot have two presidents, but when people pray, what you are doing now, for example, praying every morning, praying, God is able to intervene and hear the cry.
Okay, so what are we saying?
People.
So what are we saying? We need, okay, because you know what I like about God? God knows the sincerity of our hearts.
Yeah.
He loved King David, and he said he was a man after my own heart. You might think he's a sinner, he's all these things, but he's a man after my own heart, because he comes to me with all his honesty.
Yeah.
He says, God, this is me. You know, I'm not perfect, but I love you.
But you know, that honesty
Is what God loves.
is what God loves. And if you are arrogant, if you continue mistreating people, thinking you are the greatest, humble yourself before
The Lord.
and he will
Tell me.
lift you up.
Lift you up. He will lift you up.
Yeah.
Okay, humble yourself before the Lord and he will lift you up. Okay, so Bishop, between 8 and 9, all right? 8 reflecting August, 9 reflecting the 9th of August, twice a day. It doesn't mean that that's the only time we will pray, because you should connect with God throughout. I mean, like when you eat, when you walk, when you see something. Like I just saw a chipmunk here,
Yeah.
and it's so beautiful. It's just running on the wall.
Yeah.
There are birds, there are sounds all over the place that are so beautiful. I just think we have such a beautiful world, but people are living in hardship,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of pain and suffering. And a lot of them are angry with the government, right? And I know that our government is trying. We have a budget that came out yesterday. I know that there are areas that the government probably has not delivered as per the expectation of the people. Before you came, my Askari sat on the chair, and he was telling me yesterday, Mama, our cows are dying. there's no rain, there's no food. You know, so I just want you to tell me for Kenyans, because I keep telling them I'm a politician, I will do my best to work on the structures of government to provide for you, but have we gone wrong where we expect all our problems to be solved politically, not spiritually?
Yeah, we have gone wrong, and we have depended on ourselves too much without consulting God. Because I've seen that these groups that you have, your groups as politicians, I don't see a religious person there in your leadership. But most of the time you say the church is quiet, the church is what, but you never. I am in Kayole, and you know I'm a development conscious person. I love development. I have a school, I have an orphanage, I have all these things that are going on. But there's no day I've had maybe an MP call me and tell me, what can we be able to do that? What do you think about this? No. We are just left there because we are religious people. So we do things on our own. And so old governments always consulted God. They called a minister. They said, now call the prophet. One day even one of the group called a prophet, some who are self-made prophets, who are not God's prophets, and he told them, you are going to win. But a true prophet told them, you are going to die.
Surely you will die.
Surely you die.
Surely you will die.
So finally it happened. Because the other king said, is there no prophet here? Because this person is just trying to tell me I'm good. And that's what we as religious people in Kenya are doing. We go to every politician, we say, you will go through. I have prayed, I've seen you through. Or I have prayed, I've seen you this and that and that. That's a lie. So the thing is that they usually consulted, called the religious, what do you have to tell us? What have we gone wrong? For example, if Raila has gone and has been defeated 4 times, he should call as an assembly and ask them, where do I do what? Do I go wrong? And the people will talk, and maybe wisdom will come there. Come and let us reason together. That's the word. So I'm believing that my greatest prayer is that after election we'll have a country.
That we won't go into fights.
Yeah.
It's not necessary,
What
is it?
What is the use of losing 1,300 people? Or what is the use of losing 1 million people in Burundi, in Rwanda? Or 300,000
For politics.
in Burundi? For politics.
You kill your brother, you kill your sister.
Yeah.
And then the next day you suffer because the investors will pull out.
Yeah.
There will be no jobs.
Yeah.
Kenya will be unsafe.
Yeah.
We really need peaceful elections. That's why my first call was prayers for Kenya.
Yeah.
And then time for God. Because I think we need to spend a lot more time with God so that He can guide us. Because people say God has a plan and a purpose for you.
And I want to let you, as an MP, Kenya is not weak because it doesn't have leaders. Kenya is weak because we have continued to follow the colonial ways of life. Go to England. Do we have a chief in England?
No.
No. Do we have provincial
Administration. No, but they have social services structures.
Yes. Structures. They have social service structures, which means they are able to offer services. If you go to these countries like America, I've been there, I've been to Britain, you see services. People are served. How many people are dying in offices in Kenya and nobody has talked about them? You can go to the city council here. You will follow something, a small paper, for 2 years. We are trying to raise people up, or we are trying to give them something like that. Give them services. People will be rich themselves.
You see, the problem is, Bishop, now this comes to the social fabric, right? You have an office, you have a service to provide, you're paid a salary to provide that service, and then you don't do it, right? But the thing is, one human being can only do so much. You know, like when I recently got attacked in Deep Sea, the lady who stood there, she says, "Oh, what have you done for me?" The thing is, I might not have done something for you, but I've done something for others, because my budget is limited. I don't have enough to give everybody, and I might not reach everybody because the county is huge, right? But the thing is, so long as I know that I do my best with the little that I have, unfortunately, we can't touch everyone.
The Americans used to say that.
What?
What has the government done for me? But a great president
said, "What have you done for your government?"
What have you done for your? What do you put inside?
Yeah.
So we should come to that place, that area.
I think
you know,
it's a give and take.
Do you know why we say what have you done for me?
Yes.
Because we see those wherever people are elected, they go to the government, or most of the time, not all of you.
They become very rich.
They become rich, and then the person who voted, they said, "What happened to me? Was there any drop of anything which came to me?" So we are an example of.
Bishop, tell me something. Does God love? You see, this campaign that we're having with the Tanga Tanga, it's pitting the rich against the poor. It's making the poor feel that they are poor because of the people being rich. You started from a very poor background, and you worked your way up. Today, by any standard, you're blessed. You know, you have a church, you have a school, you have an orphanage, you have a real estate, but you've worked very hard for all that. So the problem is, so you're rich. I mean, there might be bishops and pastors today who are not as rich as you, right? So does that mean you are wrong because you're rich, or you worked hard for your riches? I mean, I really feel that it's scary when one is running a campaign saying, "Oh, these are dynasties," because now you're a dynasty, to be quite honest, in terms of bishop. And then there are other bishops who are not dynasty. They'll probably be the hustler bishop. So at the end of the day, we've put this class war. For me, does God, all the people that God had in the Bible, including Queen Esther, had rich lives. So riches are a blessing from God. So I